It is Thursday, June 4th, 2026. This is another edition of Baseball Today presented to you by T-Mobile. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan, along for the ride as well. And I start off by apologizing to you. On June 15th, feel free to wear your hat backward. I got a lot of pushback on that. So you wear it into your 70s if you want to, okay? Who am I to tell you that you can't do that when you turn 40?
Yeah, I wish you would wear your hat backward more often because you look, the Fred Durst thing that's so good. And kind of like you look a little like Chad Smith, drummer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers too.
Oh,
Either one.
okay. Not bad.
The
Isn't he?
internet got you, huh?
Oh, the show comments got me. They were like, "Just stop telling him what to do." Well, I mean, I was just having a little fun with it.
I
But
know.
yeah, you can wear it. I very rarely wear it backward, but you know,
Me, you know what? I don't really wear my hat backwards too often.
yeah, I think it's more around the house thing than anything else. Is what I would
I'm
say.
feeling super cool.
Yeah, it's almost birthday time. We're gonna just keep counting the days down until a week from Monday. It'll be awesome. This first thing we're doing, it's not so much a tip of the cap, but kind of a wild thing that you rarely, if ever, seen in baseball. Interim third base coach Chad Epperson for the Red Sox. Did you see this clip
I did.
where he's waving a runner home against Baltimore? He goes into the field of play in order to see the ball in the corner at Fenway. Now, initially, I think that was Willie Abreu that was running the bases. He was called safe. They challenged it. They overturned it, so he was out to, I mean, whatever. But is this bizarre?
I've never seen it ever in all my games playing baseball. It's risky, is what it is. He almost got knocked over by the third base coach. Then it's obstruction and the runner's out.
Yeah, I think they could have called interference on him regardless if they felt like it interfered with the play. Is that Kobe Mayo that's over at third? I think it was.
You understand why he's going there. If you've ever been to Fenway, from that angle, you
Right.
cannot see down the left field line. There's, very little foul ground there. So you gotta get in the field of play essentially if you want to see. I don't know, man. I would say stop doing that because it's just I don't know if it's worth it. And then you got to switch hands. Like all of a sudden you're waving with your left hand right
Yeah,
there,
but
right?
I don't think he did. I think he waved with his right hand. Let's see it one more time, and that
Well,
is
let's see.
Kobe Mayo that's playing third base for the Orioles. So look. Oh,
Is that a two-hander?
he's almost going double barrel.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That the Red Sox are a strange, strange organization right now. And I was feeling them in the preseason and we talked them up a lot, but a lot of things that have been happening around them, it's just weird stuff, man.
Weird, weird, weird. We saw something else that hadn't happened against Philadelphia, at least since April.
Left side, there's a base hit. It's a left field. Marsh gets to it quickly. Rounding third, heading for home is France. The throw to the plate is not in time, and the Padres have tied the game up at 1. And Cristopher Sanchez is finally allowed a run after 50 and 2/3 innings. And here comes the crowd to their feet.
It felt incredible, to be honest. There was so much going on my mind at that point, but as I said, I just tried to stay calm and stay focused on what we had to do. So, try to stay calm and focused throughout it. And, I'll be forever grateful to these fans, to this city.
I know my vocabulary probably is not good enough for him right now, but it's just been amazing to watch.
So that, of course, was Don Mattingly at the end, and Sanchez through the use of an interpreter describing his feelings. And what a moment. Look at this. 50 and 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings, fifth most all time, third most if you really go outside of the dead ball era. And so it goes Oral at 59, then Don Drysdale, and then Cristopher Sanchez, as I'm saying, outside of the dead ball era. It really is a remarkable, remarkable achievement. I don't think it got enough play.
I don't think so either. I think about like 3 consecutive starts without giving up a run. I'm like, that's incredible. But we're talking how many starts did this span over? I guess I should have had that up.
Well, it went all of May, which I think was 6 starts, and then this one.
Yeah.
He gave up 6 runs the start before this whole thing jump started in April.
And he got
And
mad. pissed off and then decided to go 50 and 2/3. I will, Chris. So yesterday I was doing some stuff with Teddy. He had like an eye doctor's appointment. That we had practice. I ended up getting home and I said, "Oh, I gotta look. I know he was pitching against the Padres? I was like, did he give up a run?" And I look, and I hadn't seen anybody talk about it. So I go on my MLB app, and I see he's still in the game, and it's the 7th inning. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is incredible! No runs by San Diego. I flip it on, press watch, turn the game on. The first pitch I saw was Jackson Merrill going the other way. So it might be on me. I don't know. It was tough, but yeah, he's incredible, man.
So you're the one that we should blame.
I don't know if I'm the one to blame, but it was serendipitous that I turned it on right as it happened. Like literally the first pitch I saw.
All right, so going backward to the 23rd of April, he gave up 6 runs, 12 hits, and 5 1/3 against the Cubs. The next start, he did give up 2 runs and 6 2/3 against San Francisco, but that's where the streak started, right? Mid-game there. Then A's, Rockies, Pirates, Cleveland, San Diego, back-to-back starts. Just phenomenal. And to me, I think part of this story is that he's really been a late bloomer. He's a guy that finally got his shot, I think, at age 24, but it was just sporadic in the beginning. He wasn't even a member of their postseason roster in 2022 during their run to the World Series. Then in 23, started to get some starts and build it up. And then in 24, took off. Top 10 Cy Young finish. Last year, he finished runner-up to Skeens. And now this time around, he's the front runner for the National League Cy Young Award. And I love seeing that sort of stuff. When you look at a guy and you say, yeah, we can slot him in the middle of the rotation, feel good about him. We've got Zach Wheeler at top. We've paid Aaron Nola. And then all of a sudden, things just flip. And it has been remarkable to see.
If he didn't develop, we're talking about this Phillies team a completely different way. We might be talking on the way we're talking about the Tigers and like who are they going to trade and what are they going to do? He's saved this this window, if you will. It's the development has been awesome. Essentially, all that really happened. I started to go back and look like what's he done differently. He just started to throw a little bit harder. I don't know if that's an off-season program or whatever it was. He decided to get stronger. He jumped 2.5 miles an hour on the sinker, and all of a sudden everything else plays up. I asked Dan to get his Savant page. I got to spend some time with Glenn Perkins, and he thinks about pitching so differently. He's such a great pitching analyst, and I always tell him you would have been great if you had this data. Dan, can you pull the Savant page? He's getting it up right now.
Well, I would say one other thing before we get the Savant page up is that I read an article that said he's added a really good slider to his mix. And I don't know, does that have any effect on this ungodly changeup that he throws that nobody can hit?
He's had the slider the entire time, and maybe it's just gotten a little bit better.
I think that's what it is, yeah.
Obviously it helps. I mean, you can't a 2-pitch pitcher. It's tough to be a 2-pitch starter. It truly is, and he's been a 3-pitch guy going back as far as I can look. Okay, so go to the movement profile. So go over a little bit. Okay, so this is pretty cool. If you look at the arm angle, so this year we're talking at a 31-degree arm angle. Okay, Glenn's like, this is how you know a guy's tough to, or this is what you want from a pitcher. You talk about tunneling. He goes, look at the arm angle and then kind of go across this movement plot right here, and it should line up with his arm angle. And that's like deception right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's tunneling. So you see all of his sinkers and changeups coming out of essentially the same spot, but it lines up with that 31-degree arm angle that he has. And that's what makes it so difficult. The location is so good. It's coming out of the hand at the same spot. And for 2/3 of the way to the plate, maybe even longer, it's the same pitch, and then one takes off and the other one goes down. And as a hitter, it makes it difficult. The swing decisions become so difficult with a guy like this. So I've always started to look now, if you go to Savant pages, to look for that. Is this guy replicating his arm angle with his pitches? And he does.
That's great. Apologize to those of you that are audio only, but you can pick it up a few minutes in on our YouTube channel over at JM Baseball. Also, give us a like, subscribe if you don't already do that. We do appreciate it. So I saw Dan Plesac answer this question on MLB Tonight.
Ooh.
I think it was yesterday prior to Sanchez's start. He said, if I had to put my entire family on the line, and he mentioned everybody that is near and dear to his heart, and have somebody start one game and go win it, he said it's Cristopher Sanchez right now in baseball. Do you agree with that?
He's obviously one of them. The thing that will stop me from saying yes is the fact that if one of these pitches isn't on that day, you can start to pare everything down. No, I just said he tunnels it very well, and it becomes very deceptive. I think a guy like Skeens who throws 6 freaking pitches, I'd rather go there. And I mean, is there a wrong answer to this? I don't think so.
Well, there is if you're putting your family's life.
Not between those two guys. If it's like this guy or whoever, Sanchez and Skeens, that's a pretty good 1-2 combo right there. I think I'll go Skeens just because of the pitch mix.
Why not Mizorowski right now?
I worry about right now it's different, but from start to start, I worry about command going from Mizorowski.
Okay,
Skeens, I know the command is going to be there. He's got the 6 pitch mix, so I just trust it a little more. If we're talking about like my family's life, that's what I'm going for.
And what about a healthy Skubal?
He's pretty freaking good, man. He's pretty good. I know. I hate that we don't talk about him right now because he's out, but I still think I go Skeens.
Skeens over a healthy Skubal.
I think I just trust him day in and day out more than anybody else. But again, come on, man. You're making me choose.
I'm going to make the smartest decision. I'm not putting my family's life on the line for a baseball player.
Good call.
I'm not doing it.
Answer the question, though.
I don't know. Skeens has not been very good for almost a month now. I mean, not good for him, right? And we'll talk about what happened to them.
He's given some runs
in Houston where he pitched last night. We'll talk about that game coming up in just a bit. I think I'd go Skubal. Healthy Skubal.
Healthy Scoobs. Yeah. I mean, look, these are pretty good options here.
Mm-hmm. Let us know. Family's life on the line.
Louis Varland?
Nope. Not for a game. Maybe an inning. Maybe an inning.
You know what? Save that question for one inning for the rest of your life.
Oh, I like that one. We'll come back. We'll circle back to that. I don't know if you heard, we do baseball today 5 days a week. So we can circle back to that one. Don't want to use it now. But I do want to tell you this. This episode is sponsored by Samuel Adams. This summer, America turns 250 years old. Can you believe that? And nobody's more ready to raise a glass than the beer named after the founding father himself, Samuel Adams. From the man who helped spark a revolution to the brand that's been brewing independence since 1984, Sam Adams is leading the celebration all summer long. So crack open a summer ale, that crisp, citrusy wheat ale with a bright lemon finish that tastes like the 4th of July in a glass. Or you can grab the limited edition Star Spangled Variety Pack. It's loaded with summer ale, porch rocker, American Light, and fan favorite Blueberry Lager. So look for their retro-inspired packaging in a store near you because it isn't just another summer. It's America's 250th. So join the rally, raise a Sam for the founders, for the flavor, for 250 years of independence. Cheers to 250. America, this Sam's for you. Samuel Adams, the Boston Beer Company, Boston, Massachusetts, SamuelAdams.com. Savor the flavor responsibly. Gosh, that's going to be a fun summer. And then we got the All-Star game in the city of brotherly love. Yeah. Man, that's going to be a blast, bro.
I got a text about you and I getting possibly a suit deal.
For our red carpet?
Red carpet ready. We're going to be so much better this year. I can't wait. I'm excited for it. We didn't know what was going on last year.
Do they make it in dad bod?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank God.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my fat ass on the elliptical right after.
Great. You're more like, you're not dad bod, bro. You're like barrel chested.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I am barrel chested. Interesting. Been doing a lot of bear crawls lately. Yankee Stadium. It's been a personal house of horrors for my plucky little Cleveland Guardians. They go out there and they cower and all sorts of stuff. But through the first 2 nights in the boogie down, it's been all guards.
Can absolutely affect or change a game.
Jose hammers it high in the air, deep right field. his 9th home run of the year.
Anytime you go on the road, it doesn't matter who you're playing. You want to take the first 2 games. You want to give yourself an opportunity to sweep. Our goal is to win series, and we've accomplished that, but we're not done yet.
Okay, so I'm not putting them in the playoffs. I am not doing that. But even when Cleveland has had great years in recent times, they've always gone in as an underdog to some of these big market teams. Because of the way the AL is stacked this year, do you think Cleveland has just as good a shot as anybody else to actually make the World Series?
I do. I think the team that they're beating up on right now, shout out my guy Reeser and shout out Dan Rourke. I mean, they're going to have to go through this team, and I think I don't know if regular seasons wins truly matter in the playoffs, but if you're talking, my team also has difficulties in New York, and just against them in general could be a target field too. Getting some victories against them kind of lessens the fear level, I guess you could say. Do you know what I mean? Like they become less scary. It's a less daunting series. So I think this actually could help if you're talking about regular season stuff. I think if I'm really getting into it, I think it could help. They have all the pieces. Or at least I think I would say they have more pieces than they usually do going into the playoffs. And it's not like they go into the playoffs and they've gotten just absolutely manhandled. Like, they put up good series. So what do you always tell me? Steven Kwan can't be the second best hitter. Well, now they have 2, maybe 3 guys ahead of him in that lineup. They have all these like draft picks. That's why I asked you about who the 2023 draft pick was. And he's Ralphie Velasquez sitting at AAA. Excuse me?
Yeah, AAA.
Yeah. So they got all these guys coming up. Bazana, DeLauder, obviously Gavin Williams has established himself. They got like a 1-2, possibly 3 punch with their starting pitchers. We know what the bullpen can do. I'm in on it, Chris, but I told you I'm very excited for this question because I want you to tell me, because you never talk about your Guardians highly. You put them down all the time, and I don't think you could do it right now.
So this is the best lineup that they've had since the 2020 version, which was Lindor's last year, I believe. It's still susceptible against left-handed pitching. Now, they have done a great job. They knocked Schlittler out, his shortest outing of the year, on Tuesday. And last night, they scored runs against Garrett Cole, and they hit 3 homers off of him, which is something in his first 2 starts. And they only struck out a couple of times. Now, I know Cole's kind of had some weird stat lines his first 3 starts. I think he only struck out 2 batters his first game. Then he went 10, and then last night either 2 or 3. But the Guardians, they do put the ball in play. They will swing early in the count. They don't strike out a lot. You know, they really do believe that good things happen when you put barrel to baseball, or maybe not even barrel, but at least some piece of wood. But they are susceptible against left-handed pitching. And Rhys Hoskins has played better the last few weeks. I don't know if he's the answer. I don't know if David Fry is a guy you want to be starting in a playoff game against Max Fried. I just don't know. I mean, he's had some big swings in his career in the playoffs, but they're like half of the good teams in baseball that keep saying they're a right-handed bat short. And I do believe that. And I don't know who that is. So they've got 2 really good pitchers. Do you know Tanner Bybee has not won a game yet this year?
I know he hasn't won a game yet, Chris. I've definitely looked at the statistics there. He's 0-7 or 0-8.
Whatever it is, he's pitched
It's
okay.
0 on the win column.
Yeah, he's pitched okay. But you know, like they'll throw Ciccone today, and he's a 2-time through the order guy, and pray that the rest of it is okay. But I mean, look, they're a solid team. So to answer the question, no, they'll still be a heavy underdog, whether it's New York or Seattle, who I really believe is about to step on the accelerator, or virtually any other big market team that might even pop in a wild card. And if Cleveland has to host them, I still think that my team will end up being an underdog, and that's okay.
But what does an underdog mean? You're just talking about betting lines, or you actually feel like they're not as good?
Where I feel like they're not as good. Yes. But I think that you could say that about Chicago. I think you could say that about Like, if they were to play, let's say the Texas Rangers got their act together,
Okay.
and you have to go DeGrom and Eovaldi, and this is the first 2 games. I mean, I think that they could match up okay against them, but I think they would probably be underdogs.
That's a good question. I in my mind, I think that's a pretty even matchup considering you guys. I mean, a couple guys you would throw against them when you line your pitching up. Obviously, the name recognition isn't the same. Although Gavin Williams is starting to, I feel like he's getting some pub. But
Hey, I will say this about Gavin Williams. I talked to Schwarber about him. He owned Schwarber in that game against Cristopher Sanchez that Friday night in Philly. Schwarber said that dude is going to make a lot of money. And he
big
said,
boy.
I actually told him the next day I saw him like in the weight room or somewhere. He goes, "You're my daddy." That's what he said.
Hey, you know what, man? That probably gave him so much like confidence and juice right there. Hey, Chase DeLauder, just a little slump, or what are we seeing? Because it hasn't been good lately.
Yeah, hasn't been good. Bazana, though, continues to give good at bats. You know, even when he gets out, he barely strikes out. I mean, I think he's going to be the perfect leadoff man. He'll be a guy that ends up hitting 15 to 20 homers, steal bags for you. Like he's made a big difference. So I'm not down on him at all. I am not. I'm going to repeat this. I am not down on them. I just wish they had gone out and gotten one more bat in the offseason.
So here's the thing, man. This is funny. And I don't think it's going to happen. But so we're talking about, was it yesterday? We're talking about who's like the right-handed bat. I mentioned Christian Walker. We're going to talk about the Astros in a little bit here. And then someone's like, "Oh, for the Brewers, I got a right-handed bat." I forget where this comment was. I think it might have been on my Twitter or whatever. Like, what about Royce Lewis? And I was like, you know what? Like, it's interesting. I don't know what the Twins are going to do with him. They've started to play him a little bit at second base and first base in AAA. He's got like, it's something crazy, like 10 homers in 13 AAA games. So clearly he's like not a 3A player. Will it translate again into the big leagues? The swing looks different. I'm curious if I don't think the Twins would deal him at like a low point, but it's interesting.
I think it's ridiculous. You can't deal them at bottom basement bargain prices. That's not.
I don't want them to. I still believe that in the talent there.
Yeah,
but it's.
He's, by the way, he's killing it at AAA.
He's killing
it. We'll see him back soon. We will, and I hope so. He's a nice kid. I like him. Yeah. All right. I want to tell you about this company, Bonobos. They sent some stuff over. I wasn't expecting to like it this much. I got to be honest with you. Sometimes I get a lot of, free clothes. I'm like, whatever. Throw it on over to the kids, whatever, family members. This stuff is staying in my closet, okay? Put a pair on, their pants for the first time, and all of a sudden I was like, hey, I'm not going anywhere else, right? We've talked about the shape of my body. They fit. They made me look good. That's a Bonobos thing. They've built their whole reputation on solving the fit problem. Men's clothes, they were always too boxy or a little too tight. They fixed it. Then they took that approach to their shirts, their polos, their shorts, their linen, the whole wardrobe. Casual and polished at the same time. You can wear them out to the ballpark. You can wear them out to dinner without changing a single time. So put on Bonobos, feel good, get on with your day. And right now, head on over to bonobos.com/today. Use that code today. You're going to get, listen to this, 25% off your order. Once again, that is spelled Bonobos, BONOBOS.com/today. You're going to get 25% off. Make sure you use that promo code today so that they know this show sent you. Enjoy. You will thank me later. All right, moving on. Oh, did you see who was back at it again? Shohei Ohtani. He wasn't as numbers great as he was the previous start where he gave up 0 hits in 6 innings, but I actually think he was better last night in their dominant win over the Arizona Diamondbacks. 6 more shutout innings, allowed only 2 hits, 6 Ks, 1 walk. Oh, by the way, he got 3 hits of his own in the batter's box. Here is his catcher, Will Smith.
Yeah, it's incredible. He's the best player that's ever, walked this earth. It's fun to see him each and every day, going out there competing, getting him 6 scoreless innings, getting on base a bunch, doing that all the time. It's really cool.
It's almost comical how casually he just goes, yeah, best player to ever walk the earth.
I mean, if you're a Dodger player right now, you're getting such like an up close and personal view of this dominance and this greatness. So I think they really understand. And if you're just a fan of baseball, like you got to know by now. We've been saying it for a long time, but you got to know by now this guy's the number one.
So through 10 starts, his ERA is 0.74. I think he's an inning shy of qualifying for the ERA title. The two lowest ERAs in Major League history through 10 starts was DeGrom, who had a 0.56 back in 2021. That was the year his season was cut short after 15 starts. And Juan Marichal, 0.59 in 1966. Hitters are slashing 144, 224, 211 against him. All those numbers courtesy of our buddy Jeff Passan from ESPN. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say other than it's freaking a joy to watch. And if you're not making an appointment viewing every time he's on the mound, you want to take a night off when he's hitting, so be it. That's fine. But what are you laughing at?
Did you just give Jeff Passan credit for Shohei Ohtani's numbers?
No, those numbers where he broke them all down and said, here's, at least I like to give guys credit for at least putting the research together.
Brother Jeff. All right.
That's all.
All
That's
right.
all. I do that with other people. If they do the work for me, I'm going to shout them out.
Okay.
That's
I got
all.
some stats for you to shout me out.
Depends what they are. Go for it.
We'll get to the question and then we'll give you.
Oh, okay. You wanted me to get to that.
Yeah.
So remember a few weeks ago, kind of in mid-May, he was struggling at the plate. He had gotten hit behind the back or something like that. And Dave Roberts said, yeah, he's not going to hit while he's pitching. And during the next game, he's not going to play. He won't be the DH. And everybody, and we talked about it. Do you think that little respite allowed him to kind of self-correct himself? Because he has taken off as a hitter since then.
Since then, because you're referencing the last start that he did not hit was against the Dodgers May 13th, and he had the off day on the 14th.
Well, not against the Dodgers. I think it was against the Giants, right?
Against the Giants.
Yep.
I said the Dodgers? Okay. Since that day, here's the slash line. You can credit me because I did the research. 435 batting average, 529 OBP, 725 slug. I've never seen a 457 for the 1.254 OPS. 16 runs driven in those 18 games. So, yeah, I do think that helped. A little mental reset, but also what I'll call spa day for him. Sometimes you need those. Think about what this guy's done. We're talking about the longest postseason run that you can go on. Game 7 of the World Series, straight into a little bit of spring training and the WBC. And then all of a sudden here on a quest for a Cy Young and a three-peat, like I can see how the body would need some catching up to. He's a freak, dude. So he didn't get days off. He was pitching still, but without hitting, that's like a semi-spa day. Then he gets the day off. And I think sometimes you do need that, whether it's good for your body, which I don't know how one day can really do something. It's more to me like a mental reset. But yeah, I think Dave Roberts crushed that. I think we were kind of questioning it. And I think we said, this is just what he does. He needs to do both, but Dave's in there with him. He sees maybe the look on his face one day. He sees the body language, whatever it could have been. He nailed it, man. Like giving him those days, set this up. And it wouldn't surprise me if we saw it more throughout the season as well.
Yeah, look, he is as special an athlete as we've got going right now in the sport. And I think all you have to do is look at what the Jacksonville Jaguars are doing with Travis Hunter to maybe even make you appreciate Shohei a little bit more, right? It is hard to do multiple things in a sport. What do you say? Are you
going to go more into that take right there?
Well, I just think that they have now said that he is going to be a defensive back going into this year. And we don't want him really thinking about receiver at all. You're going to see him with a smattering of plays, but to try and be an expert at multiple things, I think is just a waste of time for most people. And that's no shame on Travis Hunter, who wowed us when he was at Colorado because he was playing both so significantly. And I know that Dion came out and said, well, the Jags made a mistake not talking to me. Even Dion knows this. Dion, who is one of the greatest athletes to ever set foot on the planet, was not a full-time receiver. He just wasn't. He would play a smattering of plays, and he was the shutdown corner of all shutdown corners, took half the field away. I don't know if Travis Hunter can do that. My point is that he is going to specify what he is. Shohei Ohtani is not doing that. And so when people are like, well, will you talk about him so much? Because you won't see it again. So we have to talk about it while we're seeing it. And that's why we're doing it. I am going to continue with some even more numbers that you basically gave it to us, but I just want to point out where he was. I think it was May 13th was that start, you said. So since he came back after that day off, he has hit safely in 16 of the 18 games. He's had multiple hits in 8 of those 18. His average has gone from 240 to 301 and his OPS from 796 to 941. It is an incredible run. And Kirsten Watson, who, of course, is the Dodgers dugout reporter on Sportsnet LA, reported that Shohei will not hit today. Give him another breather. And it's
I'm in. I mean, let's see. How old is he now, too?
30. I'm going to guess 32.
He is 31, 334 days old. So, I mean, look, not that that's an ancient guy, but it's eventually, yeah, you need some rest days. Doing what he's doing for the last 8 years he's been in the big leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I'm in. Dave Roberts is crushing it. I don't know if it's him. It's probably the training staff as well. And I'm sure Shohei has some say in this. Probably my good dear buddy Nez Bolello as well. Because I think it does take a lot of people to like really figure all this out.
Yeah. There's no shame in having a group think on something like that. I think it's smart. I don't know. Let us know where you are with the Shohei thing. Are you like the two of us where you can't get enough of it? Are you tired of it? I think it's important to hear from you. I'm curious.
We got to figure. Okay, I had like such a bad question for Shohei on the red carpet last year. I got to figure it out.
Well, don't worry. I'm sure he doesn't remember.
Yeah, I know he doesn't, but I'm going to make it. We're going to do it right this time.
We will, and I can't wait. That'll be coming up in a little bit under 6 weeks. Yeah, awesome. One of the wilder games of the season took place in Houston last night. Pirates got an early drop the bat grand slam from Henry Davis. That was awesome. I think that was like some Pujols type stuff. That's how good a shot it was. Pirates led 9-5 with 1 out in the 8th inning, or 2 outs in the 8th inning, pardon me. And then the Astros erupted.
Cam with a base hit. Astros will take the lead. In the score, Christian Walker. Here comes Paredes. He is going to score as well. 11-9. What a comeback. 2 outs, nobody on. And the Astros put up a big bottom of the 8th inning with 6 runs. This is unbelievable.
You are right, Blummer. Unbelievable is the way to describe what I was watching last night. Josh Hader came on in his 2026 debut, picked up the save as well. But this question is really about the Pirates. Is this team, as presently constructed, good enough to make a run to the playoffs and stick around in the discussion all year? Because usually they pooter out.
Pooter out? This is hilarious because I did all my research for the Astros in this question. I thought that's who we're talking about. That's fine. I just saw the Pirates, so I can answer this question as well.
Sorry.
Short answer is yes. Like, their pitching is so good. The starting pitching they have is so good. And I know Soto gave it up last night, but they have some guys in that bullpen too that are. I believe in the pitching of the Pirates.
You do. Hold on. You believe in that bullpen enough?
The arms that come out of there now. Could they use another late inning guy? Probably, but the stuff in that bullpen does play the back end. It does. I just saw it.
I know, but they're
personal. Maybe it was just against my Twins. I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. Again, like there's plenty of arm talent in that bullpen. There truly is, Chris. So okay, maybe they need another guy that can handle some high leverage innings. Fine, I'll give them that. The starting pitching rotation is incredible. And hey, I don't know what's going to happen with Majinski or Bubba Chandler at the end of the year. Could we see one of those guys go out there? like there's options for this team already. I don't even know what they have. I mean, I do know Seth Hernandez. He's not going to be up at this point this year, but they have more coming. It's crazy. I don't know how they've drafted so well with this pitching in their organization. So I do believe in the pitching. Now the offense to me is, look, we've made some really, really great plays. Like O'Hearn coming back. I saw him come back at a homer his first at bat. Like he's going to be a player for them in that lineup. I think Connor Griffin is going to be, there are going to be times where he carries that offense and times where he doesn't. I think he's going to have his ups and downs in his rookie year. There's no doubt about it. Lineup length, I think, is a little bit of a problem for them. Now, I saw them have success against the Twins, but, if I'm looking truly, like, what do they look like 1 through 9? I think that's where I have my hesitations with them. But yeah, I actually do believe in this Pirates team. I think they're in a tough spot because there's so many good teams in the NL. I think they're going to have to fight to get into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But if they did make it to the playoffs in a short series, or just like I'm talking, 5 or 7 game series, I think they got a real chance to beat anybody. I truly do.
So, Skeens has not been Skeens-ish the last several weeks. He just the plates moved around on him a little bit. Ashcraft has been phenomenal. He's one of the pitchers that we just haven't talked about, and he has been great. He has been great. The bullpen, I don't love. Their numbers in May were horrific. Really, really bad month overall for them. They just have too many blow-ups. And I know last night was kind of an anomaly, but they just have too many times. Yeah.
The free passes have to stop.
You heard me talk about that out of the Cincinnati bullpen the other day.
That's the arm talent is there. The walks have to stop.
Okay. I want to believe in him because they did make some trades and they made some free agent signings that helped bolster this lineup. We have been screaming ever since Paul Skeens arrived, get some offensive help, and I think they've done it. Like, I think this lineup is good enough to get it to the playoffs. Brandon Lau has been as good as any trade pickup in the offseason. He's been phenomenal, right? You mentioned about O'Hearn. Connor Griffin is now on the injured list, unfortunately. Hopefully it's just a short stint for him. But I'm not going to say I like the lineup, but I like it enough. I like it enough compared to where they've been the last few years. So I need Skeens to get back to the Skeens level, and I need like 2 arms to pop out of that bullpen.
Yeah, look, again, they have excess of starting pitching, and I'm curious to see like what they do. I know Jared Jones says he wouldn't go pitch in the bullpen, but if you could imagine either him or Chandler in that bullpen at the end of games, I think that's a recipe for success. Again, I know what you're saying about some blow-ups, but I just go by stuff.
No, right.
It's there.
Sometimes you have to grade it that way. Yep.
Who's been really, really good for them? Spencer Horwitz.
Great.
Yeah.
That's another name I forgot.
And honestly, Brian Reynolds. Like, I think he gets lost in a lot of this. So again, I like top. Let's just go top 5. Then I think at the bottom,
very good.
We could see some regression there. But I think getting to the playoffs will be the hardest thing for them. I think once they get into the playoffs, that's when they can really have success.
And we forgot about O'Neal Cruz, who's had a really nice year, even though he's almost at 100 strikeouts.
Yeah.
But we're going to live with that based on everything else that he does with his pop and his speed and everything else. We'll see. Let us know where you sit on the Pirates, please, moving forward in the comments section.
I held my whole Houston Astros speech ready.
Sorry, you can save it for another day. I'm sure we'll talk about it. Just file it away and break glass in case of Chris asks a stupid question, which happens several times a week on this show. All right, we got a little bit more to go, but first, this word from my buddy.
Baseball is here, people. The days are getting longer, the sun is back out, and baseball season is finally upon us. Baseball is a game of inches. The result of a game hinges on 1,000 little moments, and momentum can shift quickly. That's why we decided to team up with Fanatics Markets, the trusted home for real-time sports prediction markets. It's simple. Just pick a game and choose an outcome, like which team will win, which player will hit a home run, and more. It's time to get involved in the action. Then buy contracts based on what you think will happen. Yes, if you think it will. No, if you don't. Buy as many as you want, sell if the price moves in your favor, or let them settle when the event ends. From opening day to the Fall Classic, no matter who you root for, Fanatics Markets is right there with you. Join the Baseball Today family on Fanatics Markets. Event contracts carry risk of total loss and changing prices. Not good for all investors. Not available in all states. Must be 21 plus. See important disclosures in Fanatics Markets app. Customers are introduced to Crypto.com by Paragon Global Markets, LLC, DBA Fanatics Markets IB, an introducing broker registered with the CFTC and a member of the NFA.
Thank you, Plouffe. Last thing before we get out of here, owners' meetings in New York gave Rob Manfred a chance to chat with the media. Buckle up. Commissioner was asked if he worries that negotiations could lead to missed games, just like during the work stoppage of 1994. Manfred said, quote, "Of course I do. Do you appreciate Manfred's candor, or would you like to see him a little bit more positive?"
I wish both sides would say, hey, guys, we're going to get this done. I know it's going to be a tough negotiation. We respect the other side, but game's in a good spot. We're going to get this done for the fans. Why not just come out and say something like that? Like, I don't understand negotiating through the media. It doesn't make any sense because everyone knows you're doing it. Both sides know you're doing. You're trying to get this PR, win this PR battle, when in the reality, that means nothing. It really means nothing. Now, if you want to talk to fans and poll fans and see, hey, this is what we're looking for, and then make adjustments that way, I'm in on that. You actually should be doing that because that's what makes the business a business, is your customers. So I just don't understand the battle back and forth. Maybe back in the day it made sense because it was, again, more of a leverage play. I don't think there's any leverage to be gained by being like, you know what? It's going to be a tough one. We don't like what they're saying. Oh, we don't like what you're saying. It's like, okay, great. How does that help any of the negotiations whatsoever? Like, let's talk about, yes, league's in a good spot. Let's go positive out to the media and then hammer what you need to hammer off behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. I just don't I don't want them to put like a negative connotation on the game during this season, which has nothing to do with the next CBA. Like, the game's in a great spot. Let's make sure we're not like, again, like soiling this season with just stupid back and forth through the media about this CBA. That's where I'm at with all this.
Yeah, I think of it. That's exactly what you're going to see, and that's just where we are. With negativity will win out. I mean, that's how political campaigns are run, right? It's very little about building up the positivity that you bring. It's why your opponent is so bad, and what? Yes,
different because the people are voting for, and I don't like
True.
that either. But the people are voting, so you need to say, "Look at me, I'm good, they're bad." This has no fan has a vote in this.
You're 100% right, but you did just say trying to win the PR war, did you not?
Yeah, but I don't know what that means anymore. Like, it might have meant something back in the day.
It has zero impact on negotiations, I think. I mean, it's what's going to have impact on negotiations is people losing money.
We're both fans of the game.
Yeah.
If you ask a fan, who are you a fan of, the Players Association or the Shield? They'd be like, what?
No, but you know what they are? People love players, but they always feel like it's the players that are halting play from being played. I don't ever understand people who back owners. I'm not saying you get everything you want as a player, but I think that most people fit into the player mold. Most people are employees. Very few people own businesses. So I'm not sitting here trying to break down who's right and who's wrong. I'm just always curious where the public sentiment sits. And I think people get more pissed off at the players because they always feel like, well, they're
greedy players, yeah,
game and they make so much money. Have you all seen what the owners make? And they're entitled to. It's their business.
If anybody, a fan, ever sat down and here was a player on this side and then like a part of ownership on the other side, they have much more in common with the player.
Of course they would. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, is that you're an employee. It's not easy. Would I like to have heard something different out of Rob's mouth? I think he understands that his legacy is severely on the line. I think he has done a good job with the rules implementations, going back and reevaluating his personal relationship with players in recent times. Not saying that piece of metal. Like, I think he has owned some of this stuff and tried to make it so that people have a little more respect for him and for the office. And I think that he knows his entire legacy as baseball commissioner is going to be on the line with what happens in this coming offseason. I think
Yeah,
he's feeling
so
the pressure.
I was talking to my buddy, shout out Peter Maul. Is he a Harvard guy? I think he went to Harvard. So smart guy. And we were talking about this the other night around the fire pit. And he said, I think Manfred, he's done. Like he's said, like, I'm going to be out of the game soon. So he's like, doesn't that mean he's just going to like go for it and like not worry about what happens afterwards? And I think it's the exact opposite. I think he's built his reputation back up. It was in the ground, dude. People were making fun of him all the time. It was like, it was not good. And he's built his reputation back up. We talked about all the things that he's done, rule implementations, the commissioner's ambassador program, which I think is maybe the smartest thing that anyone's ever done as a commissioner. He's built his reputation back up. Leaving the game like on fire, I don't think is what he wants to do.
Of course it's not. I mean, he was a junior lawyer in 1994. So he saw what sort of damage it did to the sport. And it was only an artificial home run derby, essentially, during the 98 season that helped restore the game to great heights. And I don't know if we have that in us again. So he understands what's on the line. And I do appreciate him being a little human from the standpoint of, are you worried? Hell yes, I'm worried. Because I think we all are to some degree. So that's that. What did you think of the commissioner's words? You can throw that in the comments. Maybe they had no impact on you. Maybe you didn't even see them. Or maybe you are worried. Don't know. All right. We're back at it again to close out the week, set up the baseball weekend. We cannot wait. Enjoy some day baseball on Thursday, some nighttime baseball as well. And we are back at it again tomorrow. For our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe, I am Chris Rose. We will see you Friday here on Baseball Today, presented to you by T-Mobile.